module, we will explore how Terraform can import existing infrastructure and generate a configuration for it. This is what happens when you create a stack on OCI Resource Manager based on an existing compartment. You will choose the compartment that has the resources that will be imported. You will start the new stack wizard and choose existing compartment and the type of resources that will be imported. Resource Manager will scan the compartment. Then Resource Manager will create the configuration. And finally, the configuration will be added to the stack. Let's jump into the console and see how it happens. First, I will delete the stack that we used on the previous video. This is the stack that we used in the last video. Let's delete it. And we have this warning. When you delete a stack before running a destroy, the resources that were created by that stack, they are left behind. So that's what this warning is about. As I want to create a new stack, and I want to get rid of this one, I will just go ahead and delete. The stack was deleted, but if we come over here, we can see that the VCNs are still there. Let's start to create our stack based on the existing compartment then. I will go again to stacks, create stack. I will go to create stack, select existing compartment, pick the compartment that I want, IAC, the region where it will the resource discovery will be performed. I don't want all the resources. On this tenancy, there are several other resources that were created, and I just want the VCNs. So I will go with selected, and then I will select the core category, because that's where the network VCNs are. I don't need a custom provider. I will name it from compartment IAC. I will clean up the rest of the name. And I'll be ready to go with next. At the moment, we don't have any variables that will be filled. We can just click on next, just review the values, and click on create. Resource Manager will take a couple minutes to finish this. When it finishes, we will come back and review. After some minutes, the discovery process has finished and the configuration was created into the stack. Let's review what was discovered. I have the code editor open already. I will click on the plugins. Within plugins, I will start exploring the IAC compartment, my stacks, and I have a stack called from IAC compartment. We will have vars.tf with variables, a very simple set of variables as you can see. We will have the provider information, and we will have core.tf with all the components from the core category. I will close the terminal here to make room for more stuff. If you take a closer look, you will see that more resources than the 2 VCNs that we created are present. This happens because when you create a VCN, several other resources are created automatically, and those resources were not part of the original stack. When we do the resource discovery, those resources will become part of the configuration that is being created by Resource Manager. With that, we conclude our demo on how to import existing infrastructure into a stack using Resource Manager. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Hello and welcome. In this module, we will explore drift detection. Imagine you deployed a set of resources using Resource Manager, defining everything in your Terraform configuration file. However, over time, manual changes or configurations are made outside of Terraform. The difference created between the configuration and the existing infrastructure is the drift. By understanding and managing drift effectively, you can ensure that your infrastructure remains consistent, compliant, and aligned with your defined configurations. Later, check how to detect and resolve drift on Resource Manager. The process of using the drift detection feature has the following steps. First, you run drift detection. Terraform will analyze your current infrastructure state and compare it to the state defined in your configuration files. A report will be created if any drift is detected. After that, you will carefully inspect the report generated by Terraform. This report will highlight any differences between your actual infrastructure and the expected state defined in your configuration files. Based on the differences found on the report, edit your configuration to incorporate any necessary changes. This step ensures that your configuration files reflect the current state of your infrastructure. After updating your configuration, run the Terraform plan action. This action will show you the proposed changes that Terraform will make to align your infrastructure with your configuration. With the plan reviewed and confirmed, execute the Terraform apply action. This step will apply the changes to your infrastructure, ensuring it matches the state defined in your configuration files. Finally, run the drift detection again once more to confirm that no drift remains. This ensures that your infrastructure is fully synchronized with Terraform configuration. Finally, run the drift detection action once more to confirm that no drift remains. This ensures that your infrastructure is fully synchronized with your Terraform configuration. Let's go to the console and see how it works. In my environment, I already have two VCNs that we created on the previous example. Those VCNs are part of a stack, and we will manually change those resources to create the drift. I will go to VCN 1, I have the secured list, and on the secured list, I will add an ingress rule. I will pretend I have a web server running on this subnet that it's exposed to the internet, so port 80, my web servers, and add the ingress rule. Now, if I move to the stack and run a drift report, it will compare what I have on my configuration files and what actually exists on the environment. It will take a couple minutes to run, and I'll be back when it's finished. The drift detection finished, and as expected, we have drift detected. So let's take a look at the report. And when we see the list of resources, they will have the drift status, and we can see that the default secured list is what is modified. If we expand here, we can see what is expected and how is it different. If we look at the bottom of the report, we will see ports 80, and that is the difference that we have. So to fix this now, we have to go to the configuration and add that port as part of the secured list. Let's do that. I will close the report. I will go to the code editor. I will select the plugin. As I navigated before, the stack is already open. If not, you would have to go on the compartments, navigate to the stacks on that compartment, and then you find. Then I will open the core.tf and I will try to find the default security list. I can go here, go back on the report. I can copy the resource type. I can go back on the report. Let's try to find, and here is the default secret list for VCN2. We're looking for the one for VCN1. Here we have all the rules, so let's go ahead and create a block with the ingress rule for port 80. So I'll copy this block here where we have the rules for the SSH and insert a new block. On this new block, I will change the port to 80, and I will add the description by uncommenting the parameter and putting the value my web servers. Once I do that, I can close the file. I will save my changes, and I will run a plan action. Going back to the stack, I will wait until the plan concludes. Let's force a refresh. Plan was accepted, and when it's finished, we're going to take a look at the details of the plan.